All right, so the first time I recorded this video, there was daylight, but there was a problem with the video, so I have to do it again. That's okay. Take two. I want to share with you something I found yesterday at Barnes & Noble. And if you can hear a weird squeaking noise in the background, my cat is playing with her Tweety Bird toy, so please forgive her. So I need to get better about making videos and getting them posted online. So I can't say, as you know, I like to make a lot of my own stuff, but that's the case. I call it junk journaling and art journaling. I think terminology, especially when it comes to papercraft arts, can be a little muddy. But I like to make journals, and I like to use junk mail, scraps. I like to use printables from people I want to support. I use a lot of printables from Margaret at Seven Plaza and Debbie at Ink and Page. I'll link them below. I make my own printables for things that I want to have so that I can play with it. I love finding vintage treasures and working them in. I love old book pages, and I really, really enjoy finding ways to create my own stuff. I'm gonna make a video soon, but I wanted more label shapes than I currently had in my stamp collection. So I got out my lino cutting stuff and started cutting some of my own wonky labels, and I'm really enjoying those. So I'm looking forward to putting together a video and probably eventually some printables of those as well. So I do buy some scrapbook paper and sometimes, some stickers, and I've got some of the odd, Tim Holtz ephemera that we all love. But I don't buy that much. And I went into Barnes & Noble looking, I think, essentially for like an art journaling magazine or something. I like to pick one of those up every now and then and both enjoy them for the content, but then also for the pages themselves to use in papercraft. And while I was there, instead of getting an art journaling magazine, I saw these. I do try to buy a lot of my books from places like thrift books and get things used, gently used, or in some books, if I'm planning to use the book pages, heavily used. So part of what I did before I even picked these up was tried to understand where I could get them. And for the most part, right now at least, it pretty much seems like Barnes & Noble is it. So the first one, this paper. This is super chock full of paper. Really pretty papers, paper ephemera that you can, punch out and use as is, or in at least my case, probably change and jazz up and do stuff to. But envelopes, tags, journaling cards, stickers, the actual notebooks, just all sorts. And I think part of what makes it so fun is just that it's almost this little journey of discovery on its own. And then in addition to just having these beautiful images, I really like these birds. I think the birds are what sold it for me. There's just all kinds of places you can take these things and move them even further along. So I couldn't not get it. There are several different themes. So that's the other thing that I liked about it, is that a lot of the themes were compelling. This is definitely the one that spoke to me the most. But whatever type of imagery or theme you're really into, they might have it. I can't remember all of the other ones. I do know there was a cool retro one that was sort of mid-century modern and stuff like that, which was really neat. It's not the kind of imagery I tend to work with when I make journals. I love vintage, but I also love a lot of color. I love a lot of botanical. I love, love, love birds. I love a bird. So this really worked for me. It's $35 at Barnes & Noble. It's more than I normally spend on things, but again, couldn't find them anywhere else. Didn't want to pass it up. Had to get it. If you don't have access to a Barnes & Noble, I don't know how widespread they are outside of the US. I did, when I was trying to find this, find one site that seemed to be selling them for a pretty good price, cheaper than this, although I don't know the conversion rates. But it looked like it was a UK website. I didn't bother to try and order it from there because of the whole tariff situation. I figured it'd probably cost me the same in the end anyway, but I will post that link. I'll try and find it and post it again. So if you are in the UK and you're interested, you have that option. The other one is this Paper Love, and honestly, they look very similar in terms of manufacturer. I don't know if one has anything to do with the other. I guess I could tell just by who makes it. Nope. Deck Chair Press Inside Editions, not the same. This one's $30. It's smaller than the other, so it makes sense that it costs slightly less. And there were, I think, 2 of these that I saw. If there are more, then they just weren't in my store. So the Enchanted Kingdom and I think it was Enchanted Forest. They were both great. I had trouble deciding which one I wanted to get. Very similar sort of stuff. And I don't normally go for the whole like fairy kingdom kind of situation. But I think a couple of things, it is Halloween month in the US. So a lot of people go Halloween crazy. And I get sucked into that a bit too. And there's some dark imagery in here that just really works for that theme. And so that spoke to me a lot. I love this raven. I've already mentioned I love birds. You know, some of the dragons were neat. I love trees and brambles and branches. So, you know, some of just that kind of approach really spoke to me. This skull really stood out, and I don't normally do skulls, but I don't know, I liked it. So sometimes you don't know why something calls to you, although I will say for the last week I have been participating in, well, taking art classes through the taster sessions for Tamara Laporte's Year of Magic and Fairy Tales. So I have been kind of in the fairy tale zone right now. And that may have led to this choice at least a little bit. If you do enjoy art and you do enjoy magic and fairy tales, I do highly recommend checking out A Year of Magic and Fairy Tales. I will also put a link to that in the description. Even if you don't see this until the free taster session is over, it's actually a taster session for an entire year-long event that starts next year. So you will have a long time to go get involved in that, because you should be able to join throughout the year next year and participate and get all of the stuff that's been rolling out. So 2026 is when A Year of Magic and Fairy Tales will be going on. So again, here's the other thing. I couldn't resist that. There's all of these little like wrapping paper envelopes, including one that I assume is also wrapping paper but is not labeled in the back, and I just love the whole idea of surprise goodies. The pages are also perforated here, easy to pull out, so I had to do it. If you are into paper crafting, if you're into this sort of floral bird situation, or this kind of fantasy stuff, or just paper craft in general, I figured I wanted to share this now in case you don't typically go into a Barnes & Noble or go to their website and didn't know these existed, because I definitely didn't know these existed. If I had not wandered in, I would have never known about them. Now, I can't have enough. I'm so excited to punch stuff out of here and start playing and manipulating all of this ephemera and making it my own. If you are interested in seeing, you know, what's in the super secret pouches, if you're interested in seeing how I plan to use these in my journals, please leave a note, a comment here and let me know. And I really hope that you enjoyed learning about these. And I will plan to be making some more video content soon. If you found this helpful or interesting, please like the video and consider subscribing. And if you hit the little bell, you can see all of my videos as they are released. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this interesting. I can't wait to get crafting. See you again soon.